What's going on, YouTube? Haha. Back here, OG Nitro RCs, back in the Nitro corner. Yeah, I know you guys are thinking, God damn, man, don't you have anything else to do, OG, besides make videos? Honestly, no, I don't. No, I don't. Just got out of watching my boy Hughes live stream, working on his heads for his motor. And talking to Corey right now up in Canada. Hold on for a second, guys. Right in just a second. Just a second. I got my video going in the background talking about Corey, and I'm up in Manitoba, and I'm talking to him right now. Yeah. So anywho, now let's start this over again. What's going on, YouTube? How you guys doing tonight? OG here in OG's Nitro Corner. Yeah, getting ready to shoot this one. I believe this might be episode 20, guys. We could be on the big 2-0, the double X's. It could be. Let me turn this phone down before it blows up here again. Let me see. I do believe. Nope, this is number 19. Number 19. So, yes. Number 19 we're on. Okay. Take number 3. Take 3. What's going on, YouTube? OG's Nitro RC here, coming at you from the Nitro Corner. Yep, after today's miserable, wet, cold, damp episode out there running the Grubby truck, the mighty Grubby truck here. What's in all of his glory with the new spur gears and steel this and hopped up that, and then paintball, doing good, running really good. Grubby truck here got to run on the new concocted fuel, the mixture of the 30 and 20%. It's 30%, 9% oil, 20%, 9% oil. So the oil stayed the same, but hopefully I got somewhere around a 25% nitro kick out of it. He ran pretty good, considering what was going on today, because it was chilly, wet, damp, cold, however you want to look at it. And yeah, everything wanted to be fattened up a lot. Of course, temperature goes down, fuel goes up. Temperature goes up, fuel goes down. It's the way it runs, at least for me anyway. But yeah, I had to richen everything up about a full half a turn, if not 3/4 of a turn, top, bottom, adjust the idle and everything, just to keep both of them running no matter what fuel I was running. Because paintball truck ran on 30% today. I kept the 30% in him because I'm still breaking that motor in. I don't want to change him over yet and shock his system. So, but Grubby ran on the mixture today, and he ran good. So, anywho, what we're gonna do is, since I've had this truck and I put him together, I've never done anything to it. The shocks need to be redone. The fluid needs to be checked and dumped and redone. And I have, like I said, I have just enough over here to do the 8 shocks and him. And I'm gonna make sure nothing's going on. I'm gonna take the motor down to the piston. I said motor, not engine. We ain't having that fight tonight. I'm gonna take this down to the piston, make sure everything's good and copacetic on the inside. See if I need to sand this crankshaft down, get the bearings better on it or off it, or just leave it the hell alone. And just make sure everything's up and up on him, because I haven't done anything to him, and besides beat on him, and he's taken one hell of a beating. So we're gonna take care of the problem truck. I have my big white pail here to stuff all my car parts in. That's sitting over here on the side. I'm gonna start chucking parts into it as soon as I get the wheels and stuff off him, get them set aside, and we're going to tear him down and start rebuilding the Grubby truck. And probably not tomorrow, because I'm not set up for it tonight unless I get a hair in my ass in a little bit and I decide to charge him up and get him going. But tomorrow, either tomorrow or Sunday, if it's not raining too. That's the other big thing right now. Michigan's in this rain pattern and cold and damp and shit, which you'll see if you watch my last video from the day that I just posted a little while ago. Matter of fact, Corey and Brent and JP and those guys are watching it right now from what they're telling me. And So if you watch that one, you'll see how nasty the weather was. It was pretty bad. But yeah, let's see here. And so that's the big plan for today is to tear him down tonight, real quick, like no matter how long it takes, hour, hour and a half, longer, whatever. We're gonna get into that paintball truck. I have him. We ran the 10th tank through him today. 10 tanks, and he's running good. That 28's just starting to wake up. That's why I didn't want to change the fuel on him. But with the weather being the way it was today, we had to richen him up a little bit too. But he's just now starting to wake up, and he's running really good. And you know, from the last video, we put composite gearing back in him, standard 17 tooth clutch bell, standard 47 tooth composite plastic, composite spur gear, and we got him tuned up, and he's got 2-speed in him, and he's running really good right now, super good. So I put about 10 drops of oil in the top of the piston, held the truck upside down for a little while, let the oil run everywhere, let it get to the front of the bearings and then the back and stuff, and then I put the glow plug back in, pulled it over a few times, let it get it back on dead bottom, and I don't know if I'll run him again or not. Paintball is just paintball right now. I'm pretty sure the big plan is all winter long, since I have 90% of my vehicles here, is to tear them all down like I'm getting ready to do Grubby. But then again, it's kind of doesn't make any sense for Grubby because Grubby's going to be running in the snow and the slush and stuff like that this winter. But paintball, those guys are going to get tore down and cleaned and polished and tuned up and then left alone. So they'll be good and fresh and clean come this spring when I break them all out and start running them again. So anywho, that's the big plan for all that stuff. And paint on a Grubby truck right here we're getting ready to dive into and see what's gonna see how good we're gonna. I mean, look, we got mismatched body clips on him and everything. He's just pretty much a mess. This poor guy's taking an ass whipping. He's been the 50-foot club master. Actually he has hit 55 feet, so he's getting out there quite a ways, and he hasn't been taken care of. And even though he still starts and runs relentless every time, he needs to be taken care of a little bit. So that's what we're gonna do, guys. We're gonna patch him up. Let's see here. Try to keep you guys in frame here because I really need a different camera angle, guys. I know I do, but this is the best I can do for right now. So we're gonna get to work on him, fellas. Get to work on him. Where's my magnetic trays over here with all kinds of cosmic debris in it? And look, Black Sharpie, when you watch my newest video, you understand the importance of this. I'm about to find, I think I have like about 10 of these laying in this house. I'm going to find 3 or 4 of them and stick them in my tool bag because I need them. I needed them bad today. And I just fired up paintball in a video. I'll turn that down in a second so it's not so loud. Look, there's the first one I dropped. You know, it's not a complete video from OG if he ain't dropping parts, guys. We already know that. I think it'd be kind of taboo if I didn't drop a part, to be honest with you. You're wondering what the hell is going on here. Go magnet light. Snatch it up. Bam. Bam, bam, bam. So, here we go. Now I'm gonna take him off the stand, put him back on the table, so I can maneuver him a little bit better, not make quite as much noise, fellas. So everything I need to take apart, I can take apart from right here. Nice and simple. See, the shocks all need to be redone and refilled. The preloads are in him. I don't know if I want to keep the preloads in him or not. If I want to take the preloads out. I did leave the preloads in the whole time I've been jumping him, but I don't know whether I want to keep them in there or not, fellas. I might end up taking them out. But either way, let's get on this. Oh, okay, get the exhaust off. Get the cage off. Get everything off. And put in this bucket. We don't need that. We don't need just busted motor mount, so we can keep all that off to the side. I've been thinking seriously about doing some live streams, so I'm thinking about starting those on Saturday. Not this Saturday, I'm just saying if I pick a day to do them, it will be Saturdays and maybe Fridays or something like that. I don't know. I don't really want to interfere with Sundays because I like watching and participating in JPs, and the Friday there's really nobody on, and I'm usually partaking in addictions. Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, or whatever, so that doesn't even matter if I dip into one of those days. I really don't care. It's just, I don't know, it's going to be what it's going to be, one way or the other. But I thought about doing Saturdays. I like Saturdays. Do a Saturday evening one for a few hours or something like that, whenever I make up my mind and decide to do it. So we'll just dive right into it. It's no different than what I'm doing right now, except I'll be broadcasting. So I think it'd be fun time. Fun times. And I apologize, but where are my manners at? How are you guys doing on this Friday night? Is everybody having a good evening so far? I mean, it is 10:45. It's kind of late for me to be asking that, but you know, I figure some of you guys are probably still up or doing something. You never know. So just figured I'd ask, see if anybody was staying home and being safe, or if you're out partying or doing whatever it is you like to do on your time off. I hope you're safe doing it. Another reason I wanted to do this severely was at the end of the run, I was noticing that my linkage wasn't closing the carburetor all the way, which is kind of weird, because I have a spring on this to begin with. Hear that? That's a spring pulling the carburetor slide back in. So I have one hell of a spring on it, but it wasn't keeping it closed. I've never had a problem with throttle trim on this truck until today. I noticed it was ring doing that thing, and when I hit the brakes, it would get quiet. And look at this. Listen. That's a hell of a spring. Hell of a spring back there. It turned me down back here. So why that wasn't seating up, and I had to adjust the trim, my throttle trim on my radio, I've never had to do that, which means my endpoints are off on my servos for some reason, and all of this. But once again, I have never ever taken the time to set this truck up. I put it together, slapped the motor in it, and started causing chaos with it. So he's been getting his ass beat from day one, no holds barred. So he needs a lot of TLC, and that's all on me. So that's why we decided to take him down and see what we can do. This ain't gonna work. I wanted to use my power tool on this, but we'll go ahead and go with this. Won't be that bad. Shouldn't take too long. Shouldn't take too long. Turn one way, and turn the other one, and they come off twice as fast. Just like that. Down here on this end, do the same damn thing. Oh, you know it's not good when you got shit caked up inside your shock towers. You got goobers in there. There's my little pliers. Okay. Well, they both do. I got stuff caked up in both of these guys. Wow, we gotta clean that out here. Where's my pick? Yeah, I got all kinds of blacktop, and look at that stuff in here. Literally, I got all kinds of shit. I can't even get a wrench in there. Driver. Is that gonna work now? Barely. That's crazy, guys. Oh man. And seeing that wheel nut laying over there on that mat reminds me to take these wheel nuts off right now before I start dropping these things and losing them. pins and everything else. And it's just going to piss me off. That'll be my luck. You guys know that. Wasn't for no luck or bad luck, OG would have 0 luck. Alright, here we go. Now, back to the shocks. Close these up. Got a hold of this one because you can't get a hold of this one any other way. Really? I must have better rounded this damn thing out because that is there. Wow. You know that's some bad crashes. Oh, I bent the whole shock screw was bent. That's some bad crashes, guys, when your shock bolts go through the back of the body and getting bedded with asphalt and dirt and mud to the point you got to pick them out. That's some heavy duty crashing. Okay, no shock. Now if I can even get these damn things out of here, it's going to be the next big thing. There's one. This is the one that's bent, guys. This one might not cooperate so good. This might not work, fellas. Try on threading it all the way, because this one's bent. Ooh, is it bent? You see that, guys? You see how bad this is? You see that moving? It ain't supposed to wobble like that, fellas. Alright. Yeah, there we go. Cool. The front, pull the front ones out. Bada bing. Bada boom. Oh shit, boys, I got wrenches everywhere, man. We can't be having this kind of mess. You know, OG's OCD can't handle that kind of chaos. We gotta tidy that up real quick. Starting to short circuit there just looking at this shit. Alright, shock time, boys. Shock time. Come here, boy. 1, 2, 3. I think all these shocks are pretty much dead, to be honest with you, and need badly to be redone. So that's what we're going to do. And these aren't even the new springs. The new springs are on paintball. It's right behind me. And the problem truck, they have the new springs on them. Yeah. Grubby's running the original shocks. The original old ones. Note to self. Oh, I know that shock's dead. I can feel it. I can feel it when I threw it. Yeah, that one's okay. Right. 7 and 6. 7. And yes, I'm throwing all these parts in that box because then they're all going in a pail tonight to soak in water and to be scrubbed clean. All these will be too. Everything, the whole truck will be just getting taken apart, guys. Right down to the nitty gritty. Right down to the nitty gritty. I can reach it from this side, like I'm doing right now. I'm taking it off. This whole side's taken apart now, guys. Not a screw left on this side. And where is our set screwdriver? Right there. Put our brake set screw back in there so we don't lose that. That's got to stay where it belongs. No need to take that off. And while I'm in here, because of the gearing change on the Grubby truck, going up a tooth, just one tooth, that's all it took. Going up one tooth on the clutch bell to a 19 tooth, from an 18 to a 19, changed the gearing in this thing. It is shifting right on top of each other again. So I need to stretch out second gear a whole half a turn, and I need to stretch out third gear almost a full turn, and that should stagger them and put them back in order to where they were at. That should bring them pretty close to being where they were at. Hold on, guys, let me check this real quick. Kind words from my buddy Corey. Kind words from my buddy Corey. Yeah, those guys are awesome up there. They are awesome up there for sure. Okay, linkages. I need to separate the linkages. What am I looking at here? How far do I want to go with these? Yeah, let's just take them all the way off. Why not? Because we got to take them off anyway. Like I said, the whole plate just came right off. No prisoners, guys. No prisoners. No prisoners. I'll put this screw back in here so we don't lose it, because I'm going to try keeping this linkies together, because this radio box needs to kind of stay together too. So if I can keep all this together, it's just going to come in handy, because I really don't need to wash the radio box or anything like that. We can leave all this alone. It's pretty much cookie cutter. We're working around it basically. So once I pop the other side off, it's just all going to come apart anyway. Because right there's one whole side plate. Boom. That's it. That goes in the box. And that's what your Savage looks like, boys. With no walls. With no wall on the side of it. Transmission, gearing, throttle linkages, brake linkages, open motor and chassis plates, open bottom skid plates. Everything is open. You can see everything that makes him tick right there. That's what they look like. So now we come over here, and I can almost do the same thing on this side, but the pipe and stuff gets in the way a little bit, not too much. And even after I do this, it's a slight pain in the butt, because I gotta undo the steering linkages that are hooked to the steering bell. Once you do that, then you can get into the side, then you can unhook everything. Boom, front end just separated. There's the motor. The motor's loose now. Skid plate's loose. Last chassis bolt. There's the truck. There's our heart that we just put back in there yesterday. Still hooked to the transmission. Radio box is still hooked to the front because of the skid plate. The skid plate and the steering arms. The back is now off. There's the other chassis plate. There's the rear end. There's the dog bones. There's the complete rear end, which we will take this apart in just a second too. It's all coming apart, guys. We're on 24 minutes. Now we'll take these bottom screws off to separate the tranny from the motor. Yes, I said motor. Told you. Not having that fight tonight. I'll let you guys know when I want to fight with you about that. Now we look at this clutch bell, which looks really good. So that heavy duty clutch bell is doing its job. Look at that. Turning like a champ. We're having to beat the bearings on, huh, guys? There's that one. Here's our kick-ass stacked up transmission. It's doing really good. Doing real good. Teeth all look good in it. Sounds good. So we'll keep him in there. He don't need to be rebuilt, but we're going to go over him and clean him out. We'll pull all the gears out. Make sure there's fresh grease in there. Yes, I do grease my transmissions. I don't care what any of you guys think or say about that. I've always done that. I like it better than oil. I do. I'm telling you, I haven't taken this truck apart in so long, guys, that I have so many bent up screws in here and stuff. Like, look at that. That's a bumper screw that holds a bumper to the skid plate. I would have replaced that. That's how I'm telling you, I have not taken care of this truck. He is bones to the bones. Got his ass kicked from day one and never had anything done for it until now. That's why I'm going to do it. He's a stud and needs to be taken care of. So he will be all pretty spotless clean again and tuned up to the max, to the best of my ability anyway. And I'm pretty good at cleaning them up and putting them back together. So yeah, he's going to be really in good shape when I get done with him. Knock all this old grease off him from the differentials here. Make it a little easier on the cleaning, and bam, there's the back end. That's the original grease on that diff. Original grease. We're going to re-grease that. I don't see any broken teeth. There's no square teeth. They all look really good. Yes. Oh, so he's good to go, guys. Good to go. Screws in this tray. We got him down there. We're not going no further yet because when we dive into these, we're going to do both. So, with that being said, let's get this radio box off here. This is what happens when you have Loctite on old screws, because now this one doesn't want to come off, which could be a problem. Tear this up really bad, trying to get that out of there. So what I have to do now is it's going to make me take apart the whole freaking radio, the whole radio box, to go in from the inside to take this one off on the inside of this box. It's the only way it's going to allow me to do it, unless I was to heat that up. And since this is all plastic, it's composite, I don't know how hot I want to get it. So yeah, we can try some heat and see what happens. If I can get it to loosen up a little bit, better than nothing. Try to do it as fast as possible. Nope. All I'm doing is rounding that sucker out. That really pisses me off when that happens. But the reason why that's happening is because I've never gotten in there and taken care of it. My fault. 1000% my fault. So now I have to deal with it. So when I put him back together, that won't happen again, ever. Yep, it will not happen again. Bet on that. No. So, bumper screw. Diff grease off this one too. Put that up in the out the bell crank arms. Just like that. Put those over there. Now, there's the front end. It goes right there next to the back end. Boop, boop. There's our radio tray with our linkage still attached to it, thank God. And, like I said, the only way this is going to come off here is not peacefully. So with that being said, I'll have to undo the servo arm right now so we don't damage that and get this off here so it floats in the wind. And then I'm going to have to see one more time if I can heat this up, because I don't think I can. Because if I take the one out from the inside, it's going to pop out from here. So we'll try this. We're going to take this servo horn off and hit it one more time. It's easier to take it off the horn because it's a coarse thread. So when you put it back together, it's guaranteed to be tight, I should say. You don't have to worry about the placement on it. It's pretty much going to be ground zero when you put it back on there. So I just run it through just so it pops out the bottom a little bit. Now the bell crank is freed up. So once again, I'm going to do what I don't want to do. Let's go into this radio box, because then I'm going to expose all these wires. I'm going to have to deal with all of this shit again, but it's all I can do right now, guys. It's all I can do, because that screw I need is right there. Right below the battery, boys. So we're going to pop. If I do this, I'm just going to undo the whole mess. I really don't want that to happen. I want to keep the wires together. I don't feel like re-taping everything back down, so hopefully they stay right there. Look, there's my... Remember I told you I wanted to find? Well, you haven't seen this, but if you watched the video before this one, I lost my little rubber cap that goes on my outside of my box here. It holds my charging cord in. It was inside the box. So that was a bonus find. Yes, it was. Alright. Get that in there all nice and neat. Voila. Alright guys, give me 1 second. I'm not going to touch this while I'm going. Trust me, you won't miss a thing. I'll be right back. Alright, right back at it, boys. Here we go. Let's see if we can grind this sucker out. If not, we could be in trouble, fellas. We could be in trouble. Yep, there it goes. So it came out the top. We got the top one out. Let's see, there's rust and all kinds of composite dust and everything down in this box to where this thing ain't seen daylight in a fortnight. So yeah, it's gonna be a little rough getting this sucker out of here, because it's wanting to turn the whole shaft, fellas, the whole shaft. God, I hate to get the Dremel out and have to cut this thing, but you guys might get to see me do some surgery. You haven't watched me do any surgery in quite a while, fellas, have you? The pull starts and stuff like that at the lot. Yeah. So yeah, you guys might actually get to see that. Let's put the heat on it for a minute now that we got it up here by itself. See what's gonna happen. Let's make it happen, Captain. I doubt it, because the screw's taken out of the other one. I don't think we can get this thing to break loose. I don't think we can get it to break loose, because you kind of got to have one on both ends. And this sucker is hot now. I mean hot. Top end. You gotta have something to hold against it, because otherwise it's just gonna turn. Oh, God, I don't want to cut this. I do not want to cut this. There's really no way to get this thing off. I might be able to hand turn it. Maybe. I don't know. I doubt it. see, this should just come right off here, technically. But because it's held on by the bottom, you can't do that. So the only way to do that is to run this one back in. And because when you turn this, it turns the whole thing. So you need to hold this in here while you turn the whole plate. And you can't do that because all that does is unscrew this one. It just loosens this one up. Man, what am I going to do? I'm going to end up having to just cut this off because I can't. There's no other way I can pop this thing out of here. Yeah, it's not going to happen, boys. It's not going to happen. So let me do this way. And I've never had to do this before. Never have I ever had to do this before to a bell crank. This is wild, guys. This is wild. This is wild. This is what happens. Pay attention. Can you guys see me? This is what happens when you don't take care of your stuff. This is what happens when you don't take the time to take care of your stuff. There. Things need to be maintained, fellas. Yes, they do. They need to be maintained. Maybe if I twisted it enough, it might grab. But nope, that's because that bottom one needs to be loosened up. And there's no way in hell you'll ever get a wrench in there. No, no, no. That will not happen. And the old ones, before they went to this new high-tech servo saver thing, the old style, that just hooked and laddered over each other, you had a round button in here that just popped out and you slid the whole thing off, which is technically what's supposed to happen now. This thing should just pop right off, but it's not going to because it's embedded. It is embedded. It's not that big of a deal, guys, because I'll just take the horn off from it, and I have brand new ones of these that I can just throw in there. It's just a pure point. It's the principle. Or, as we like to say, it's the reckoning. It's the reckoning, fellas. I don't even have enough to get a hold of the clamp the vice grips on there. I know I don't have enough. Not enough meat, boys. Ain't enough meat there. Nope. That's definitely not going to happen. Yeah. Ooh, that sucker's tight. Yeah, it bit once. I won't bite again. I got lucky to get it grabbed the first time. Yep. See, that should just come right out of there, but it doesn't want to because it's. You need to get something to hold on to the inside of that. Because that's doing exactly what it's made to do. Free spin on there. And I'll never be able to get anything underneath there, guys, so I could be just kicking a dead horse here, I'm telling you right now. Oh. So, we are going to put the severe heat to this thing. I mean, severe heat to where I got to get up right now and grab a leather glove, and we are going to burn it down. Look out, boo. Oof. gloves are 5 times too small for my hands. So yeah, this is going to be fun. Here we go, boys. Sooner or later, the Loctite in there has to give way. And all this time I could have already had that front and back end completely tore apart and all those parts in that boxes, and then we could be moved on to wiping the shocks down and redoing those or working on that engine. Yes, I said engine, not motor. We're not having that fight right now, guys. Okay. That was hot, boys. That was hot. Here we go. Quick like a rabbit. Nope. It ain't happening, fellas. And that sucker's roasting hot. So which means now I cut it off. That's all I can do to it. That sucker is hot. So we're gonna throw this in the back burner, aka the nut and bolt pile. I'm not taking you guys on that journey of me getting the Dremel out over here and with the wheel and doing all that jazz. That's not gonna happen. We're gonna take this front and rear end apart. We're gonna do something constructive. You guys don't need to be a part of that. You've already been through this nightmare enough right here. And I went through all that trouble getting this box out of here and undoing all that. When I'm about ready to slap just another one in there, because I have another one right down here, I think. Boom, right there. Like I said, easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Yes sir, yes sir, yes sir. Just like that. Like that. That's how that one's going to go on there. And the connecting goes like that. And see, that's the part I'm missing though. The part I'm missing is in there right now. That's not in this bag. Why I don't have that in this bag is going to bother me. Because everything I need should be in here. And it's not. Because there's a purple one that's got the washers and everything with the guts, the whole 9 yards. I don't want to sacrifice that for that. But it looks like I might have to. That's the last one I have left. So we'll keep this out and keep this out and put it in a tray. I know that's what I got to do. I have 2 more down here in my parts bag, so we won't worry about that stuff right now, fellas. We will move on. Yeah, there's all kinds of cosmic debris right here inside this. I don't even know what the hell this shit is either. The stuff that's on this servo doesn't make any sense. It looks almost like a Loctite or some kind of sealant on here. Look at that crap. So, anywho, let's see what we can do about this and get all this shit put back in here for now. Yeah, I don't even have any 2-sided tape on the bottom of this battery or anything. It's just in here free falling, which is disgusting because that means I didn't take care of none of it like it should have been taken care of. It bothers me seeing my truck in this condition. All this could have been prevented if I took care of it this summer. But I didn't stop running it long enough to actually ever take care of it. I just kept running it. Well, this is what happens when that happens. This is what happens when that happens. Nothing good. So we're going to put him over here. Where's the lid? Put the lid back on him, hopefully. wires tucked in there. Blah, 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 blah. Just like that. Shit, get the servo out of the way. There's that, that. Alright, and bam. Locked in. There he goes. He's good. Now, on to more important things. Let's make some progress, fellas. Let's make some progress. Thinking around shit that's also does make me mad because it's my fault. That's literally what's happening right now is I'm getting mad because this was all preventable. You ever hear the old terminology, guys? Preventative maintenance. Here we go. Prime example of it right here, boys. Preventative frickin' maintenance. Yes, sirree, bub. Things out, which are kind of weird. Took me a while to get used to these because the old ones don't have that crap. Pop these out. Pop that out. Pop that out. Pop that out. We're just pulling out the catchers, the pin catchers, guys. Ooh, the back end's grubby. Nasty. That's why it's called the grubby truck. That mug is grubby. Bottom pin, top pin, bottom pin, woosah, differential. Alright, there's my pens. Keep these in the hardware drawer because they get cleaned up with that. Dog bone. Those will stay in the hardware tray. These, since these are the front steering ones, they're not that bad. They're really, really clean. So, I'm not worried about these. What I don't like about them is these are the old A-arms. They're one-sided, they're not two-sided, and they only accept the small spring carriers. They fit in there like that. The silver ones I had would not fit down in there. Remember, I had to have the newer ones with no outer wall on them. Yeah, so that's the only bad thing about these. But I don't plan on upgrading shocks anytime soon. I don't need to. So I'm honestly going to leave these front ones alone. I'm not going to do anything to them. Bearings are very good. I put new bearings in it when I build them. So the fronts we'll leave alone. The front diff, we will leave this alone too. It's pretty clean. We're not going to muck with it. Basically, I took this apart, guys, to clean the rear end off and to redo the shocks and this motor, to tear this motor down. We ain't fighting about that and that kind of stuff. The differentials are very good. No problems with those. They're clean. All the teeth are still sharp. None of the teeth are broke off, chipped off, or anything like that. They're still packed full of grease, so I'm not worried about that either. So we'll put those in there as is. This is the one that we got to knock off right here. And 2.5. And we don't go through all that shit. Okay. Ba-bam, ba-bam. Pulled the ball and everything out on that one. Look at that. The ball came out of the eyelet. We don't want that to happen. Oh my God, it's so weak. It won't keep itself in there. We got to replace this arm. Yes, we do. That'll pop right off from there and actually just go right on through. Oh no, it'll only go one way. It won't go the other way. That's weird. Yeah, we're gonna have to replace that. So, okay. Note to self. But we'll take care of that in a little bit. I ain't worried about it right now. If it falls out right now, big deal. It just remind me later on that I gotta replace it. Boom, boom, boom. Dog bones. Dog bones. Parts tray. Dirty, grubby, greasy pins. Parts tray. A-arms. Now these, when I soak them, all I have to do is go over them and scrub them. Basically the same thing I'm going to do to the fronts. Just knock all the fuel and dust off them. That's the only thing that's wrong with these. Bearings are still good. Toe links are still good. Yeah, they just need to be scrubbed off. So that's what's going to happen with those. They're going to be dumped right in the bucket the way they are. And you're thinking, what about the bearings, OG? Well, if I come down worrying about that, I'll pop the cups out, pop the bearings out, and then go from there. And then I'll still do it. I might pop the bearings out of them and do it just because, you know, it only makes sense to do that. But for right now, they go in there. Differentials go in there. And these are the back pins for the back diff that go in there. And here's the back one. There we go. Okay, did the front one come out too? Yes, it did. And this is the back one, right? Yes. So we'll leave these in here just so we don't lose them in transition. Because these are the ones that hold on the toe links on the back. Run them half the way through. Jump on the other one. Half the way through. Bada bing. Back ones. Okay. Driver out. Next driver in. Player out. Alright, boys. There it is. Live and in stereo. Grubby truck is now a box of parts. And his wheels, and you already know about the radio box, so we gotta basically just swap it out because unless I can get that out without wrecking that whole armature, I'm gonna have to sacrifice that one to the parts gods. I will cut it and try to. I don't even see me getting it out after I cut a wedge, and I don't see me getting it out with a big screwdriver. I'm gonna have to cut it completely out, and which means I'm probably gonna lose that inside shaft. So I'm just gonna end up needing a new piece, needing another one, which is what I'm going to do. So, yes, that's what's going to happen with that, fellas and ladies. Got my glow warmers back here warming up. They've been charging since me and the Beagle got home. Yeah, when me and Nitro Pup walked in the door, I slapped those on the charger. They keep them going because they were getting weak. It's a lot. The one Dynamite one was definitely weak. So he's charging. The battery for the roto start is charging as well. It's still got life in it, but I always try to stay up on that since it gets a lot of use with a couple of the trucks being roto start. So yeah, and now onto this monster right here. We can go ahead and work on this right now and tear this thing down. So let's get on with this. Spring. Exhaust. Okay. 2.5. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Carburetor's off. Okay. Now, wipe all the gook away from the edge. Make sure all the gook is away from the edge. Clean-ish towel. A little oil, a little grease, doesn't really matter as long as there's no dirt on it. Shove that sucker in there, deep to the crank. Come around back, rinse and repeat. Get a good chunk off, plug it, and stuff it. Look in there, make sure our piston's down, which pretty much it is, because this block is dirty. Dirty. Grubby truck is grubby. Now, pop that out. Get our 3 mil. Bada bing. Now that's off. We'll put these back in here, so we know where they go and where they're at. And we just had all this apart, remember? When we took it apart yesterday? When we put it all together. Yep. And we're going to do it again. You might see me pop the piston and sleeve out of it. You might not. That's another heat and beat project that I really don't like getting into. But when you got motors that have been ran, not the point that they've been ran and not taken care of, but any motor that's been ran, you're not going to ever just pop the sleeve out of it unless that thing's got minimal use on it. It's been taken care of, taken apart and oiled and cleaned after every run. Yeah, well, then you can probably get away with that. But a lot of motors and engines, ain't going there, will lock up, and they're no fun. No fun at all to take back apart. So we're going to take it apart anyway, down to the gills. This is what we're going to do. What are you worried about? Boom. All right, this is where the fun part comes in, guys. You know what that is? Looks straight, doesn't look like anything's bent. It's just extremely, extremely dirty. So there we go. Here we go, here we go. And I will take this carburetor completely apart and lay it all out here too. That needs to be cleaned. That's a nasty air filter, but it's still spotless on the inside. The outside can use a good cleaning too. So, here we go. Now the spring's off. Everything comes apart a lot easier. Just like that. 1, 2, 3, 4. What we try to do is put these right back in the same holes they came out of, since they've already married up in there. That's pretty much where they go. I like putting things back. See, I was taught that as a kid. When you get your ass beat enough, for even just touching things, you learn to leave things alone. I didn't have a very understanding father, so. And then when you do get to touch things, the first thing you're taught is you put it right back to where you found it. So it kind of sticks with you when you become an adult, just a little bit. All right, now here we go again with the clutches and stuff. Remember this trick, guys? Yeah, this was not a good time. We're probably going to pop them all off again, just like we did the last time. Yes, we are. Bam. Yes, we are. So where's my shims at? Okay. Keep these in one spot, because these are the important ones. Yes, they are. These are the important ones, guys. This bearing looks like it's already been cooked. I thought it was still good, but man, the shield ain't. It's not. The shield's not doing it any favors. I'll tell you that right now, fellas. No, it's not. This is where you get creative and you put a block and tackle underneath here, like I said. Come around to the other side, pull that up, get underneath it. You want it that way. Come over here to this side. Put the flywheel, go underneath it, pop it up on that side. And you should have enough room underneath there to maybe, nope, not quite. Close, but no banana. And we don't need that. We need this little screwdriver that we had on yesterday. Not no Phillips screwdrivers. Where the frick is all of our flat screwdrivers at? Then you have enough room to get your big one underneath there and pop them over the big one like that. That bearing is still good. for being brand new, which means it wasn't getting chewed up today. Which means it was doing exactly what it was supposed to do. Oh wow, guys, I had, oh nope, that's a race. That bearing took a shit too. So I had 2 shims in there, but actually I only had 1. So now we're going to pop the clutch shoes off here. Get those off. One spring. I'm going to pop that spring up right there. 2 in the spring. Come back here and pop that one up. 3 in a spring. Like that. Okay. And I don't think this is going to come up high enough to where we're going to be able to do that. Honestly, we're going to have to smack this off like what we did yesterday, because this has got ever so slight of a mushroom on it from getting hot. Yes, it does. And there's the top race. So those bearings were cooked when I put those suckers on there, guys. They weren't doing us no favors. None whatsoever. So let's see what kind of madness we can cause in here with this. Because we need to put this in here. Like that. I don't know if we can tap it enough to get it out of there or not. Yeah, it wants to. It's coming, slowly but surely. Don't call me Shirley. Oh, it's so close, guys. Oh, I just heard Nitro pop back here behind me. Getting ready to cause chaos. There's the bearing. There's the washer, the big shim. And there's the back race. That bearing's not cooked. Still runs really good. It's just that the front and back have come off from it being hot or being no good to begin with. So yeah. Either way, they're off. Yep. And they do not stay back in there when you press them in there. Very good anyway. So we'll look into the bearings too. Okay, flywheel. Channel locks. 10mm driver. Impact gun. Seat it. Got it unloosened, not tighty. Grab a hold of this. That was on there extremely loose, guys, because it didn't even get ugga. It just took it right off from there. That's interesting to know. That means that wasn't tight. Okay, now handy dandy flywheel puller that I still don't really care for. Because it's supposed to just pop it up off from there, and it never just pops it up off there. But a screwdriver back here, being tapped in behind the flywheel, always pops it off there. I'm just saying. You just gotta be careful not to crack the block like that. You see that? It just popped it right off. You don't need no damn huddy, because now it's gonna sit there and turn on the crank, which is gonna piss me off. It's gonna run the piston up and down. See how it's pushing the piston up? And look, it brought my sleeve up too, guys. Ain't that a Christmas Day miracle? Look at that. I would never get that lucky again, fellas. Then you got this to deal with. So, you try to find something plastic. You don't know if your toothbrush is too big or too small to fit down in here. And then, so you can block the intake and pop this loose. Like that. Okay, there's that, there's that. Look for any cosmic debris down in there, and thank God there isn't any. So put your toothbrush back away. And here's your flywheel. This is garbage. That's $12 I never needed to spend. You just see me knock this off with a screwdriver. Poof. You just gotta be careful. Be careful, and it works just fine. Once again, put the tools away. Get this damn wheelie bar out of my way. It's been over here for way too long. Put all that stuff over here. Pliers over here. We were lucky enough that it popped the piston, the cylinder sleeve up, and everything. Right there. Happy as my buddy Haggard says, happy days. Happy days is British for when your shit goes right. That's what that's for. So let me see here. What size? This isn't a 1, is it? 1.5. Yes, it is. I'm gonna take the roto start off, guys. We're about to pop the piston out, and you just heard me say a little while ago that I was gonna have to heat this sucker up to get it out. Well, I didn't have to do that. And maybe the one thing that I did right out of all of this time that helped that out was I kept oiling it. I oiled it and oiled it and oiled it, and I kept this sucker oiled and oiled and oiled, because that just shot that sleeve right up out of there like it wasn't nothing, and that should not have happened. This motor's been ran so much that it should have been seized in there, and I should have had to reheat it to get the sleeve out. And nope, it spit that sleeve out like it wasn't nothing, which is a beautiful thing. Don't get me wrong. I am not complaining. I'm just telling you that was a 1 in 100 chance that was going to happen. 1 in 100. I got lucky. And the only thing I can scratch it up to is maybe because I kept it oiled, severely oiled. As you see, the button is still inside the top, and it's there, just like that. Boom. And that thing is clean bean. You see that nice that green hue to it, that green tint. Yeah, that's from that 30%. That's what did that. That green tint comes from that 30%. So anywho, there's the one way, which is grubby, dirty, nasty, which will be also gone over. Take the back plate off. Make sure to move your piston up to the top, which it should be okay, because the piston's already slopping around back here with the sleeve being out of it, so you don't have to worry about if your back plate has a notch on it for your sleeve for your piston to set down in. You don't necessarily have to worry about cracking one in an HPI motor because they're not made that way, but it's a good habit to get into, of moving your piston up to the top of the cylinder before you remove the back plate, in case it does have the piston sleeve or the piston slit in it, so you don't break it. And see, like right now, that piston's all the way to the top. That's good. Now we can pull this back plate off. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Oh, it doesn't want to come off, guys. It's tight. Yes, it is. Ooh, that thing is tight, fellas. Why is it so tight? Well, Let's try a different procedure here. First off, let's get the cowling off this crank. Number one. Okay. Now technically I could pop this and push this out, but the piston is still on it. So you can't do that. There we go. Oop, there it went. And the piston was on the top, so that's good. Look at that thing. Boy, it is oily. It's an oily, nasty mess. But that's good. That means the oil that I've been dumping in there and the oil and the fuel and everything else has been doing good. O-ring looks a little shady. It's not bad. I wouldn't kick it out of bed for eating crackers, I guess is what I'm trying to say. But yeah, and you see that flat spot on the back plate right there? That's where the piston comes down. You guys see that? But a lot of them have a slit cut into them where the piston actually goes into it. So if you pop this out, you'll crack the piston. So yeah, you gotta be mindful about that. Good habit to get into, guys. Make sure the piston's dead center up top. The exact opposite of what you've been telling yourself for the last 20 years, because whenever you stop a nitro motor, you make sure the piston's on the bottom. Well, when you're taking the motor apart, not engine, when you're taking the motor apart, make sure your piston's on the top so you don't accidentally crack it. Because you will on your more expensive motors that are made that way. Yes, you will. This thing is a rusty up, discolored Greek nightmare, fellas, but he's pretty. And he does the work. Yes, he does. He does a good job. And we are ever so lightly going to reach in here with these pliers. Yes, metal pliers. Grab a hold of this. Pull it off the conrod, off the crank, just like that. It falls off. Look at that beautiful tint. Look at that. You guys see that? That beautiful gold and green tint, that metallic green tint. That is sexy. That's from that 30%. Well, actually, it's just from the blue fuel, from the blue sidewinder that's caused that. There's no play, side-to-side play in the wrist pin and the piston. Everything seems to be functioning good. And I can see up into the oil hole, and the inside of the collar for the conrod is smooth. It's not chewed up or it's been beat up on the end of the crank or anything. So yes, piston is gorgeous. Gorgeous. Good color, good tint, cleans up really good. Look at that, it's got a nice green hue to it. It's almost like amber color. The top of the piston's cleaning up really good. We're going to hit that with some brake cleaner before it's all said and done. There's no pitting. There's no pitting in the top of the piston or anything like that where it's been too hot or it's not firing right. So the OS8 plugs are working very good in there. Very good in there. So yeah, he's doing good. Real good. Nice. Happy with that. So we'll leave him there. The inside of the block is amazing. Nice and clean. Nice and clean. Got one dig mark back here by the marker pin. That way you know where the sleeve goes right here in the back. I don't know what's caused that, but it's on the outside, which means it's on this piston sleeve someplace. Might have been something that was up on the back side of that, because there's your exhaust port. So whatever happened, it was back here. But the line is not in the sleeve. The sleeve is clean. The sleeve is beautiful. Oh my God. And look at that. Look at that fanging on these these F46s. The F4.6s are the cream of the crop. Look at that beautiful fanging. Look at that on that sleeve. Hope you guys can see that. Hold on for a second. And I should have checked this before I started doing this, guys. I'm sorry if it's been a nightmare like this right now. I've been filming for over an hour already. Some of it's probably been dirty the whole frickin' time. But you can see the fanging on those ports. They look good. They look real good. Look at that. So yes, that's nice. Back plate looks good, like I said. O-ring looks solid. carrier looks good. So that looks all dandy. We'll stab a Q-tip down in there and flush that out. We don't need to do anything to this. We don't need to oil it. We don't need to do nothing like this. That'll do it all that on its own when you put this sucker back together. And it does a very good job of it. That's how your one-way gets so slicked up and doesn't want to work. And not only that, guys, but we got real lucky because I thought the pin come out with the back plate, but it didn't. The pin was still inside there, and there's the pin right there. So we need to keep these back plate screws with the back plate, and that pin was really close to falling out. And luckily, the spring is still in there too. I thought they all came out and were laying over here on this towel, but I looked in there and just seen them. I was like, holy crap, I got lucky. I got lucky. Because there's the spring. See that? So yes. And this one way, knock on wood, hasn't given me any kind of problems. It's run good. The crank just comes right out. Nice and clean. Oily as shit. I mean, and I haven't touched this thing. I haven't dumped anything down in here. This is all from the fuel, guys. I have not put no oil down in here since we've gotten home. I oiled paintball. I didn't oil Grubby. This is all from the fuel. That's awesome, ain't it? And this is that blend, remember, guys? Because I put the blended fuel that I made today, that went into the Grubby truck, the special blend, the 20 and 30%. And that's only 9% oil, and this sucker's oiled up like the Exxon Valdez. I mean, this is beautiful. I like this a lot. I might go out there and the next time, and I just might mix up what I have left because the truck runs good on it. And even though it's only 9% oil, it helped this engine out a lot. There, I said engine for you guys. Some of you don't get butthurt over that. And now you're probably getting butthurt over me saying butthurt, but oh well, you'll be fine. I'm sure you'll wake up tomorrow. Just kidding, fellas, just kidding. Beautiful porting on this crank too, guys. God, I love these HPI engines. They're just so nice, so smooth. I'm not going to pop the bearings out. I do not want to pop these bearings out. They're fine. Everything about them is fine. The inside ones are colored green. They look beautiful from the fuel. And the oil in here is just crazy, guys. Look at that. Oh my goodness. Love it. Love it. Yes, I do. Please. All right, guys, back at it again. Here we go. Yep, the battery died. That means we hit the hour mark on the recording. So this is where we're at. This thing is spotless. I don't even want to shoot any brake cleaner up in here and clean this out normally like I would, guys, because it is so packed full of good oil. The bearings look good. I mean, everything in here, look at that. Everything just moves so good. We're not going to touch the block. We're going to leave this alone. We're going to let it set just like it is. Actually, we're going to set it nose down in the cradle, which is what I do. I use the cradle and I set the blocks in them like this, which keeps all the oil and stuff going down into the front bearing and the main bearing, which helps out a lot. So we have clutch bell, we have bearing 1, bearing 2, the races which need to be replaced, bushing, shim, and where are we at? Here we go. Flywheel. We have the flywheel and crank nut. There's the crank, and there's the shoes, all 3 shoes, and all 3 springs. Keep all this stuff together, guys. Now, we have the button right there. This looks awesome. And I'm not even going to take the shims out of there, guys, because there's no need to. I don't feel or see any kind of grit in between them, so we're going to leave that just as it is for now. I might take it apart later to get the glow plug out of it and to clean up around the nest. The nest is the actual pocket that the plug sits down in, but we'll leave that like that. The sleeve, without making sure nothing's on your fingers. Look at the oil that still comes off that sleeve onto my finger. This is beautiful. The sleeve is nice. And to run this up through there, right now dry would be a mistake. So we drop a little oil on it. Let it roll around on both sides of the piston itself. Just like that. And we put that up in here. And even spinning that piston and pushing it up to the top, it still only goes up to the pinch line. This motor's got so much compression and so much pop in it, it's crazy. So yes, piston, beautiful. Oil holes, oil ports in the piston, beautiful. Everything about this is spot on, just like that, spot on. So pistons fine, back plate's fine, roto start's fine, one-way bearing, we'll hose that up right now so it's got time to dry. Just like that. You tap, 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 tap. It usually slops all the sediment to the bottom. So the one way is good. Corey's over here blowing my phone up again. Him and his awesome brother just told me that they wanted me to keep the Grubby body and not to send it to them. As much as they would like to have the body signed by me, they said a signed Christmas card would be just as good. They want to contribute another body to the channel because they said they recognize what I do and how I try helping out others and stuff like that. And since I'm just a small fish in a big pond, they want to help me out the best they can. And so they're contributing another body to the channel. These guys are just so awesome, so awesome. But that's what he said in the last message, and oh man, it's beyond appreciated. You have no idea how much that helps me out. You know, it allows me to buy something else or not to have to buy another body or anything like that. And it lets me, you know, just not have to worry about it. That's an awesome thing, beyond awesome. Gotta be probably two of the best guys, if not the best guys I've ever met. Well, that I haven't actually met. Let me put it to you like that. That's how awesome they are. But yes, greatly appreciated, boys. Thank you very much. Yeah, you literally have no idea how much you're helping me out. It's simply great. But yeah, he said, "Oh my God, I hope you're not making a video right now and I'm blowing your phone up." Yeah, you are, bro. But trust me, you're not hurting me one bit. You're not bothering nothing, bro. Nothing at all. My phone's over here going off. So anywho, needles are all good. We're not going to take this thing apart. Don't need to. You hear that? That's me blowing into the high end. It's coming out at the bottom. If there's that much pressure in there, that means the idle gap is just right. Just right. So, Mr. Carburetor, as much as I want to take you apart, I don't think we're going to do that. I think we're going to leave you alone. I kind of want to take him apart and lay him out here on the table right now. I'm thinking about it. I'm really thinking about it, guys. But then I'd have to run all these needles in and find out where they deadhead at, where they come to the end at, and so forth like that. So we might end up still doing this. I don't know. I'm thinking about it. Thinking about it. Give me a screwdriver while I'm sitting here thinking about this. Yeah, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and which really doesn't matter because it goes on forever anyway. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I call it just about flush is where the low end's at. 1, 2. Basically 2 turns in from being flush is where the low end was at, which is a little weird, but that goes to show that with the temperature change and with what I had to do with the fuel settings, I figured it'd have been richer than that, but that's not bad. That's about a turn and a half, I called it, wasn't it? What was that what I said? Turn and a half out from being flush. And these O-rings all look good. They're really good on the low end needle. No cosmic debris on it. There's no gook buildup on it. So that needle looks gorgeous. Now we're going to pop off the boot, which means we got to have our little bitty one here. Pop that off. Set that aside. Pull our boot off. We'll clean that up really good. Make sure it's not ripped or torn anywhere. It doesn't really matter because it's sealed, but we don't want this thing all flapping in the wind. So yeah, that looks good. That looks good. That looks good. There's our barrel. There's our barrel. And our idle screw is about flush. Yes, idle screws actually flush. So what I do is I got this piece of paper up here. So I write a lot of stuff on it. So I will do, and I'll put low speed. Low speed was basically 1.5 to 2 turns in from flush. And idle screw, even flush. See, that's what I do. I write stuff down so I know where it's at, so I put it right back to where it came from. And now the high speed needle, we're going to take that in. 1, 2, 3 and a half, 3 3/4 in. So high speed needle. High speed is 3 3/4 out from close or bottom. There's that. That's how we do that. And now I know I can back this sucker all the way out, then take it down, then back it out to where it's supposed to be at. And we can check all the O-rings on them. We can make sure there's no cosmic debris in there, because like I said, boys, I'll say it again, I've never done anything to this engine or this truck. I'd have to look through all of my old pictures to see if I've taken this motor apart down to the piston or not, because I've taken most of them out like that. I've taken most of them apart down to the nitty gritty. There we go. There's our plunger, inside washer, nipple, outside washer, which they're supposed to be the same, but they're not. One's a lot finer than the other one. So yes, That's because the bigger one sets up on this ridge on the needle. You have a really small ridge right here on this needle. And that's where the bigger washer slides up on that ridge and sets up on there like that. You see that? It sits right here on this ridge, right there. And then the smaller one that goes below the needle sits right here. And it can't go no higher than that. See that? That's how you know which one goes where. It's impossible to put them in the other way. It will not allow you to do it. So yeah, that's all you got to do. Keep that like that. Keep that like that. And this is the bottom. And he does not want to come out, so we're going to gently grab him if we can with these channel locks and pull him out just like that, which is a good thing. That means the O-ring is really doing its job and holding him in there. There's the high-speed needle, and here's the high-speed needle body, which is nice and clean. We can hose that out. A little brake cleaner. I don't want to put any on the O-rings because a certain brake cleaner does have enough in it that it'll eat the O-rings off there. So why I have this sitting out here, all of them are like this. I usually take some 3-in-1 oil, and on the low needle body, I will drop a drop of oil on each one of those oil rings on there, like that. You see those? Yeah, I'll put a drop of oil on each one of those, set that out there, and then I'll take the high-speed needle, which has got one O-ring on it, and I'll drop a drop or two on that, and let that sit there, just like that. Now I know that they're lubed up enough that nothing's going to bother them. And that's that, fellas. This is all we're going to do tonight. I will leave everything sitting here just the way it is. That's how it has to be. And Mr. Engine will sit here just like this. Tools go back in. No need for the tampons, but we'll leave them over here because we'll need them tomorrow when we start putting stuff back together. And make sure the bottom of the cooling head is copacetic. Make sure it's not toasted or burnt up too bad on the bottom from the heat, which it's not. Okay, throw away our handy dandy Q-tips here. Nitro Pups back here just blazing on them biscuits. He's finally woke up from his nap and he's munching. He knows it's midnight snack time and it's 12:16. That dog's got a built-in clock. Yeah, air filter's packed full of oil too, so that fuel is working good. That 20%, I didn't gain anything in the oil because the 30% I have is, thought he was back here choking. My 30% is also an off-road, but it's an off-road race blend, as they call it. No, not a race blend. It's an off-road, whatever they call it, blend. It's not a race blend, I don't think. But it's got 9% oil. It's 30%, 9%. So I've been running 9% oil this whole time. I just dropped down in nitro percentage, which is going to help it out a lot. It's not going to run so high. It's not going to run. They say between 20 and 30%, you only lose about 1,000 RPM, which really isn't shit compared to the longevity that it helps your motor. A lot of guys are even dropping down to 18% or 16%. You know, 20% is literally all you need for anything. 25% is what they use in races. In some races you can't go any higher than 25%. 30% is illegal. But anyhow, that blend turned out really good. It's 30% nitro, 9% oil, and then what I mixed it with is 20% nitro, 9% oil. So I averaged out to a 25% nitro, and I still kept a 9% oil, which is fine with me. You see what it did. It worked wonders on this motor today. This Grubby engine is exactly how I brought it home. I didn't do anything else to this. I might clean this block up. I might not. It's not really dirty. It's just oily. I like it like that. So with that being said, he might actually just stay the way he is, and yeah, everything will stay perfect like that. That's the way it'll be, guys. So this is what's going on. You see everything happening here. Tomorrow, this has got to be the first thing we do, of course, because of all the pieces. So the engine has to be put back together. Everything's got to be tuned up. We will cut the coupling off on the exhaust, and we will clean this out. We will clean all this up with some brake cleaner. And no, we ain't going to polish it, but we're just going to clean it up, get a lot of shit off it. Make sure this coupling's still got enough dexterity left to keep it sealed up, which I know it does, because nothing runs like this motor. This motor sounds good, runs good, looks good. You don't really want to change anything. You just want to keep it going the way that it is. So yeah, we'll put this thing back together tomorrow first thing to get it off the table while the other parts are soaking in the wash solution, and then I'll get them scrubbed down. We'll give them time to dry, and then we'll start putting them back together. And then the last thing we'll do, this will be a 3-day build. Tomorrow will be about the engine and about the plastics and some reassembling, here and there. And then the last episode, probably part 3 of the reconstruct resurrection, we'll call it the resurrection of Grubby Truck. As we bring him back together, probably the last thing we'll do is we will reload the shocks. I will take them down. I will see if I want to dampen them any on the inside, deadhead them with some tubing. If not, we'll just put them back together. Use that last bottle of 30 weight oil I have over there to fill them back up, and we'll call it good, guys. It'll be dapper. So that's what's happening. If you guys join me tonight, or if you're watching this tomorrow, I greatly appreciate it. Tomorrow being Saturday. Is it Saturday? Yeah, today's Saturday. So yeah, today will be Saturday. When I wake up, will be about putting this back together and preparing the XL truck to make sure everything's good on that. What needs to be, I'll probably cut the body out and scruff it and then clean it. And I might even start putting liquid mask on the inside of it, because I want to do something with this, whether I do my bomber bird on it or anything else. Yeah, we're going to do something with that body. Besides, it'll be 90% one color, but I'm going to add something to it to trick it out. I miss my painting my bodies and making them look unique. So one way or the other. But anyway, a lot of stuff going on. Need to get the XL in shape. Even if I take just the XL out to the lot to break it in, to idle the tanks through it, and to put it around, 4 or 8 tanks, and not do anything else with it but put it around, I can do that without the body on it and have a perfectly clear conscience. I'm okay with that. But we'll get Grubby back together first, get Grubby on his feet. The new body should be here, and I still might send one to Canada. Don't even, the Cobra chicken's got to have it. But anywho, we'll see what's going on. But if you guys are watching this video, I greatly appreciate you tuning in and watching. OG, that's me, operating in the Nitro Corner. OG's Nitro Corner is where we get shit done, as you guys see, down to the bare necessities. And tomorrow, when I'm putting this all back together, I'll bring this camera down a lot lower to bring it up close so you guys basically see what I'm doing. Okay, I wish I would have done it this time, but yeah, I'm still learning this camera thing, guys. I'm an old dude. Give me a break here. I'm trying. But we'll get this under control, I promise you. It'll be some Spielberg shit within the next year. I'll get my editing skills up there a lot better. But anyway, if you made it this far, I appreciate it. Love and respect each and one of you guys. Please smash that like button. It's helping me out. I'm trying to catch some main wave or some algorithm or something to get my name out there. It's really cool now, turning my TV on and I'm seeing popular uploads pop up, and one of them will be my videos or one of my shorts or something. Is really cool. But I greatly appreciate the support and the help I'm getting with the channel from all of my guys, from everybody that comes through and supports me. And my 2 rock stars up in Canada are really kicking ass for me right now. Love both of you guys, Corey and Brent. Awesome. For the rest of you guys, like I said, love, peace, respect, appreciation beyond words. Thanks for tuning in. Please smash the like button, consider subscribing to the channel. And this is OG from OG's Nitro Corner. I'll catch you tomorrow when we put all of this back together. Okay? Savi.